something strange is going on. And yes, it still has to do with the supposed feud between those two guys, head coach Tuomas Iisalo and superstar Ja Morant. But out of all of this, I mean, no one's suffering more than the organization itself having to just be around this behavior. And this is certainly strange. And the development of the supposed feud between head coach Iisalo and superstar Morant. But what's going on, you guys? Jared Alator here for another episode of Grizzlies Digest. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Just want to always highlight our 39% of subscribers. You all are excellent. You all are fantastic. 62% of you have to subscribe to the channel. You're not subscribed already for all your Grizzlies updates, your game breakdowns, your stats, your injury news, and also we've been keeping up with the Morant Iisalo feud here for some time now. But this is a strange development in what's been going on for like 6 days now. So Ja Morant and Tuomas Iisalo are reportedly barely speaking during games. And that's a report from that Yahoo article down below from Yahoo Sports. Memphis, much like Houston, is also in the process of learning a new system, but Morant's body language was lacking a somber morning shoot-around. It was off all evening outside of a mini briefing midway through the fourth quarter with the game pretty much out of reach. Morant did not speak to Iisalo during timeouts. Morant would be off to himself either at the end of the bench, swimming in his own thoughts. There were no reassuring handshakes or taps from Iisalo whenever Morant was subbed out. The tension palpable within FedEx Forum. So, I mean, you've got the fans who are in a disarray right now. You've got Memphis Grizzlies PR just trying to do the best they can in this situation. You've got the organization. I mean, the teammates all around are the ones suffering the most because they have to see all of this. And now if you don't have your superstar head coach talking to each other, is that a sign of something big to happen in the future? But this is absolutely strange. I mean, you've only seen this only a handful of times in the NBA. I do remember, although not trying to compare situations actually, but I believe back in early 2019, whenever Rajon Rondo was with the Lakers, it was the end of the game. The Lakers were going to lose. The result was already there. It was just a matter of a couple minutes remaining on the clock in the fourth quarter. But he found himself sitting in the stands, like literally, he's far from the bench. The bench is over here. The stands are over here. He's sitting with fans courtside. I mean, so I'm not saying that that's we're necessarily going to see something like that with Morant, but it almost seems like that sort of behavior where Morant just seems so out of touch with his head coach. I mean, they're not speaking to each other. I mean, I don't know what this exactly will lead to, but I think it's time for the organization to step in. Time for the front office to step in and say, okay, what's going on? What can we do? And let's shake hands. Because I think it's becoming that point where I really do think the organization needs to step in and say something about this. Because if not, I mean, if left untreated, we don't know what's bound to happen. And we don't think the impossible is going to happen. We don't think Ja Morant is going to get traded or anything like that. But just like a wound, if left untreated, you could suffer even more. And you're going to regret not addressing it whenever Ja Morant publicly requests a trade. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if left untreated, and Morant does demand a trade out of Memphis, then you're going to regret, the front office, you're going to regret not doing anything about this, saying something about this. But something needs to be addressed here. Clearly, you cannot let this behavior go on. I mean, you just can't. It's your superstar and your head coach. They don't have to see eye to eye and everything, but they need to see eye to eye in at least something. But Paris Sharkey sums it up pretty well as to why we're seeing this behavior from the Beale Street Bears, the Grizzlies fan-sided page. Tuomas Iisalo can't avoid this Grizzlies dilemma any longer. I think that's where the this ongoing feud is stemming from. His player rotation pattern isn't conducive to what the team needs right now. And he goes into the drama from Morant from last week, Tuomas Iisalo's playing rotation isn't making much sense for a team missing 4 players to injury. If the team wants to snap their skid and get on the right track, he will need to adjust his philosophy before things become worse. And he says that Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. need to play together more often. The Grizzlies' 2 stars have had questions about their ability to coexist throughout their time together, as one seems to play better when the other one isn't on the court. However, Iisalo was hired to figure that out and said he's played his 2 stars separately more often than they have in the past. Now, I understand kind of what he's doing here. I think he's going toward a route to where it's almost like what Denver has been doing the past few years with Jamal Murray and Jokic, where it's like, well, we're not going to sit them both down, but at least one of them is going to be on the court, most or all times. And ideally we'd like them together because they run a great 2-man game together, but it's going to have to be like that. I mean, you're going to have to give Morant and Jackson Jr. heavy minutes together until Zach Edey gets back, until Ty Jerome gets back. And it looks like Edey, he's been assigned to the Memphis Hustle, which is some great news. Gigi Jackson as well. So, I mean, hey, let's get him some minutes. But until then, until Zach Edey at least, you got to have both of those guys play heavy minutes together. And here's what I'm talking about if the graphic wants to show up here. There we go. So Morant is averaging 30 minutes a game. Don't want to necessarily think about the points or the assists per game, although he's putting up some good numbers there, but playing about 30 minutes a game. Now, you should have someone like Morant's skill and talent play, I'm thinking around 37, 38 minutes a game. If he can, which I think he can. But, so you give him 10 minutes of rest. I think that's ideal. At least, 37 minutes a game. That's not crazy. But you look at Morant's minutes now compared to other superstars. I mean, Luka, sometimes he plays a good, almost 40 minutes a game. You look at Jaylen Brown, and how battered up the Celtics are right now. He's probably playing about 36 to 39 minutes a game. So I think that it's a rotation problem, and that's kind of where it all stems from. That's why Morant was so upset after the tournament game last Friday night against the LA Lakers, where he's like, hey, I don't know how to answer your question, man. I didn't play. Go ask the coach. He knows better than me. That's why he got suspended, because of inappropriate language that's toxic to the team. At least that's what the Grizzlies had said. So last season, Morant and Jackson Jr. shared the court for 21.4 minutes per game, and that number has dropped to 14.6 per game this season. So now you kind of see the in-depth of why Morant is upset. Iisalo runs a system that demands maximum effort from his players in short bursts, but has sacrificed longer runs for players who need more time to gain a rhythm. After players playing low minutes became an issue under former head coach Taylor Jenkins last season, Tuomas Iisalo has begun the season with the same method. While former assistant coach Noah LaRoche had the biggest effect on the Grizzlies' offensive system last season, which didn't maximize Morant's play style, it feels like Iisalo had an effect on players' minutes when he was in the assistant spot. And now he's, of course, the head coach of the team. So, I'm looking at this and thinking, look, all we need to do is, you want to make Morant happy, you want to make your superstar happy, you want him to stay in Memphis, you got to put him on the court together more than 14.6 minutes. And that's not going to solve everything, per se. That's not to say you just put him out there and then, hey, magic happens like that, because that's not going to happen. And you still got to play the game. But at least give your guys a chance while they're out there. You cannot waste this talent. You cannot waste the years of Morant and Jackson Jr. just trying to figure things out. They're done with that. They're in their 7th and 8th season. Believe it or not, time is really passing us by here. But they're already in their 7th and 8th seasons, respectively. We cannot be thinking about, okay, well, let's put you on the court here and one on the court. No. I mean, especially with all the guys injured right now, you need to throw all your cards out there. I mean, you're trying to compete in the Western Conference. You got no time to mess around. We got no time to screw around. We still got guys injured. You got to get them on the court. And I'm not saying, look, that Iisalo's right or wrong and Morant's right or wrong in this situation, but I still think that the problem needs to be addressed, because you cannot have a whole season with Morant and Iisalo just not speaking to each other. I mean, that's just not going to work. So that needs to be addressed, but also let's get Morant the time he needs, the time he deserves on the court. And, don't disrupt the momentum. Let's say if Cam Spencer hits a couple of threes, or, Santi Aldama gets a block and makes a 3-point shot, or, even KCP, let him a couple shots, he makes it. Don't disrupt any momentum, but kind of ease the way. Let's say if one of them's not playing, just ease the way for a substitution, an easy substitution to take place, even when one or two of them aren't on the court together. But that's all I got to say for this video. Leave your comment down below what you think about this whole situation between Morant and Iisalo. I know you all got a lot of things to say about that. You can like this video, comment on this video, share this video, leave your comments down below. Jared Alatorre saying so long. We'll see you in the next video.